Hello, dear students. Let's see a very interesting clause called group by in SQL. Now, group by actually what it does, this clause in the SQL statement, is it groups several rows on some particular column. See, group by statement in SQL is used to arrange identical data into groups. What I mean here is that if we say, let's say we have a EMP table as shown, and these are the rows of the EMP table. Okay, let's say we want all the employees that are working in department number 1 to be in one group. All employees working in department 2 should be taken into one group, and same should be done for employees working in department number 3. Now, why are we supposed to do this? Is that many times we want some information pertaining to some information, which is related to particular departments. As an example, you can see that in this data, salary of individual employees have been given. Each employee's salary has been given. What if we want to print sum of salary, that is EMP salary? I have not written complete column name. Sum of EMP salary per department. Per department. That means we want that for department number 1, how much salary are we paying? See, for department number 1, the salary we are paying is 60,000 plus 35,000 plus 44,000. Added, all these salaries added is the total salary paid for department number 1. But then this addition of 60,000, 35,000, and 44,000 is possible only if we use group by, so that all employees working in department number 1, the same department, are first grouped together, and then whatever request we are making, like sum the salary per department, will be done. Similarly, department number 2, we want to find out what is the total salary we are paying with all the salaries of the employees working in department number 2 added with each other, and similar goes for department number 3. So actually this group by clause, is used always with aggregate function. You see, whenever your SQL statement will contain group by clause, you will always see some aggregate function such as sum, average, and so on, min, max. You have learned 5 aggregate functions. Let's take an example and understand grammar of group by. The same EMP table I was talking about. Now, imagine that we want to write such a query, and what this query does, let's see. Here, what we have asked to select is, we have asked to select department ID and sum of EMP salary. You see, sum of EMP salary from EMP, from the table name, but we have given group by department ID. Group by department ID. This is an additional clause we have put, isn't it? So first of all, let's see what happens internally, how this query will run inside DBMS. First of all the rows are grouped by department ID. So you can see all the employees from department number 1, department number 2, and department number 3 will be grouped. They will form one group, isn't it? Because we have said group by department ID. And now what we have said is, for each group, find out sum of EMP salary. This sum won't be found for all the EMP salaries, but for this group, there will be sum found for EMP salaries. For this group, for this second group, there will be another sum found. And this sum will be sum of all EMP salaries. Same applies for the third group. So this aggregate function, sum salary, works for each group, correct? So what will be the output? What will happen? First of all, you see what happens internally. By the way, first the grouping is done. As you are seeing, we have said group by DEPTID. Well, this won't be the output. Hello. There will be no such output shown. These all things I am telling you what happens internally. First, the grouping is done. After that, sum of EMP salary is found for each group. And then the output. What does output contain? Note what we have said. Select DEPTID and sum of EMP salary from EMP and group by DEPTID. So there will be only two columns. The columns will be, first column will be DEPTID, correct? And there will be only one entry shown per group. See, there are actually three employees from department one, but as we have said group by, in our output, one will be shown only once, and then sum of EMP salaries. I'm writing in short, sum of EMP salaries will be shown. Similarly, there will be department ID shown for this department 2, and then sum will be shown, and the same will happen for the third department. This will be the output. So what happens is, when you group by department ID, then departments are grouped, and in the output you will see only one entry for n number of departments having same value. I hope you are understanding. Now you can see that this is the output. These are the sum of the salaries in these individual departments. Just as we have used sum, we can use min, max, or whatever aggregate function. Just have a look at MySQL prompt, and we are using company database. You recall company database has employee EMP table, and this EMP table has salary column and department ID column. You can see departments are 1, 2, 3. Now, what if we want to find sum of EMP salaries? We will say select DPTID, comma, sum EMP salary. That's the name of the column, correct? From EMP group by DPTID. Isn't it so? So you can see this is the output. The rows were grouped on department IDs, and these are the sum of the salaries in each department. Or we can say we want average of all the EMP salaries per department. So let's say we say AVG of EMP salary, list the department ID and the average employee salary in each department. But we have to group by DPTID. You can see these are the average salaries paid in department 1, 2, and 3. Isn't it so? Or suppose we want to find out minimum salary paid in each department. Minimum. So you can see that in department number 1, somebody is paid 36,000. That's the minimum salary. Isn't it so? Now you will agree, I'm sure you will agree, that whenever you group by department ID, then it is meaningful to put that department ID column in the output, isn't it? We should rather. What if we don't put that? Let's say that we only print minimum of EMP salary. Let's say like this. Select minimum of EMP salary from EMP group by DPTID. So the rows will be grouped according to department, and then for each group minimum will be found. Let's see what is the output. Well, this output is meaningless because you are seeing that minimum of EMP salary is 36,000, 35,000, 89,000. But come on, what is this minimum? This minimum salary is minimum salary per department. So isn't it meaningful to list the department number also? So what I mean is that it is logical, isn't it? That whenever you group by department ID, you show that department so that person knows what was that group. So you very quickly come to know there was a group formed for department ID 1, there was a group formed for department ID 2 and 3, and so on. I'll tell you, in some of the SQLs implementations, like I am using MySQL, this feature is possible where you don't include, listen carefully, where you don't include this particular group by column name, that is department ID, you don't include, still it works. But in pure SQL implementation, standard SQL implementation, standard SQL, I am saying, you must include, they have put this restriction, you must include the column on which the group by is done. But there are many implementations, isn't it, of SQL, which have set their own rules or they have modified the rules given by standard SQL. But then we will always include the name of the column on which the group by has been done. That's logical also, isn't it? So that we know what were the groups. All right. Let's then come back to our slides, and we have understood that group by is basically used with aggregate functions, correct? And we have to generate some value for group of rows, isn't it? So group of rows pertaining to department 1 or group of rows pertaining to department 2 and so on. Now in the next video we will be seeing having. Generally, when group by is written, it is followed with a having clause. We will see this or explore this in the next video. Thank you very much.